你不是用那个手机吗？用手机怎么还会耳膜炸裂？哎呦！ Edith Finch， 可就是听我的声音，我哪有离那么远？你开20、30就听得到了吧？哦 ，Edith， 所以 The Finch 是家族 ，Edith 是我。 Edith Finch， 给我的。哦。A lot of this isn't going to make。太快了。我要从这个房子重新开始。你是不是听不懂？好啊，我帮我看看。 控制 Audio 是声音 ，Master Song F Music Graphic 画面 ，Window for Window V Sign 是什么 ？Resolution Quality Text True Quality 品质。 画面距离 Ultra 没有啊，不是 Critic， 一定是 Graphic 里面我可以找到了。哦，这个是亮度。竟然没有语言吗？我在找 Control。 我试试看嘿，等我一下。它应该是有中文的。对啊，它有很多语言。你就是带了火的走路模拟器，最出色的步行模拟器，艺术品。内容。 哦，看来是不用从这边了，直接开游戏吧。我英文比较吃力哦。 那我们遇到什么单字不会的就现场查吧。 这个叫做伊地区，这个家族伊地芬奇留下了什么东西？伊地区芬奇，我不知道这样翻正不正确啊。很多事情不合理，我很抱歉。我要从这个房子开始，最开头的部分。我多应该没那么烂。右键是放大，那没有跑步。我在这边住到7岁半，但是我不允许进入这个房子。哦，滑鼠洞吗？
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
哦，太快了，太快了，我没看得那么快。他说这边是7年前的邮箱，所以他现在14岁是不是？7+7，我不能再开一次了。
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis. 自从我哥哥李维的葬礼之后，我就没有再回来过了。哥哥李维挂了。
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked.
我妈妈临死前留给我了这个钥匙，但是没有告诉我这个钥匙是开什么的。
Maybe she thought I'd know, or she thought the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
也许她觉得我自己会知道。往下一条路，往上一条路，哪一条？2条路呢？好，我承认我这样玩起来我是有点吃力。伊蒂芬奇的回忆豪宅。哦，哦，好，这样设置对了吧？关内容，这样就可以了吧？我们再一次。
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house. I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
不是7是11 11，然后7年没有回来了。
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately. I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral. In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought the mystery would be enough to bring me back. No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
"好大只的鹿哦！"
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
不能输了。
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
来，我们来看看房子有什么秘密。先看一下，我能不能跑步呢？没有。这就是伊蒂芬奇的豪宅吗？ 是恐怖呢？悬疑呢？童话呢？
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words.
这顶加很严重哎。
Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
等一下，你17岁，你可以继承吗？你还没有20岁，你要怎么继承？
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't. Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
是灵异鬼怪吗？还是有什么杀人线索？疑案未解。走狗洞啊！
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11. The power had been turned off the night we left. For the first time in years, I felt like I was home. But instead of a family, there were just memories of one. Like how after Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly. Or how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot.
只有一家餐馆愿意送餐到这个偏僻的地方来，所以他们吃了很多中国菜。然后哥哥李维应该已经去世了，在他11岁时候。然后哥哥以前在这边打工，所以这边应该是停留了很久。哦，干也太多了吧！难怪说大家都吃到怕了。
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
是因为你们都不整理吗？哇靠，东西也太满了吧！这个是亚洲家庭，这一定是亚洲家庭。
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
哈？所以他有2个哥哥，一个叫 Levi， 一个叫 Milton。然后 Levi 确定挂了 ，Milton 妈妈相信他还活着。然后我给你看个东西，我刚刚中午去买的。我本来打算，哦，没关系，我觉得现在是一个好的时机让你看到了。当当，当当，我买了水果刨冰。我看到一家新开的店，然后我没有忍住，那是一个90秒的红绿灯，我就想说，都90秒了，下去。那一晚的龙卷风让很多东西没了。我觉得他们家其实还不错啦，不会，我觉得应该还是温馨童话的故事，不会说是悬疑恐怖。
Edith told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
啊？什么意思？而且家里面细节很多，就是真的不爱整理。你书怎么可以这样子放在楼梯口？
Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
也不是这边。哦。
Great Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
祖父 Steven 给 Barbara 做了一个音乐盒。Barbara 我们不知道是谁。我们看一下祝福表。我是一地区。那我有个哥哥 Milton 跟 Levi 2个都是有日期的，所以都挂了。那洞Barbara 在这边，其实全部人都挂了。这边我不知道是妈妈背还是爸爸背的。Gus 当，我们从名字分不出来哪边是男生哪边是女生，不过没关系。这其实会影响到说亚洲这边叫堂兄还是叫姑姑叫阿姨啊？没关系，我们就叫他亲戚好了。他是爷爷辈的。芭芭拉，1944年，他年纪很大，是祖父做的，所以他们不是3代哦，他们是4代。好，来我们继续看，这家庭真的非常多人。好温馨的木头椅、木头桌。哎呦，如果我继承了这样的一栋房子，我一定很开心哎，我觉得很棒。遗产税2%。餐桌跟我们离开的时候一样，所以有什么事情让他们离开了，遗产税2%可能就绞死我了。
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
祖母伊迪住在养老院。伊迪 ，OK， 这是祖父，他是祖父那一只下来的。 这个应该是祖母的那个氧气瓶
It
跟
was
轮
like a
椅。
bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
哎，对耶，他们走得很匆忙，你不觉得很奇怪吗？这个样子，你不像是正常要走然后收拾完，而是有发生什么事情，对吧？然后大家吃一吃，忽然走了走走走走走走走，然后我分不出来这边是番茄酱还是血迹，然后破碗也没有收拾。你再看一下这个。这是祖母芭芭拉的，然后收集了各种甲虫。其实我一直不知道收集甲虫人在想什么。好，来往下没有路，这边还有一个。这个在外国好像很常见，我觉得我阿嬷也需要一个啊，她可以很方便的往2楼跑。
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Edith 是谁？Milton 我不知道为什么失踪了。
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
My friend, Big Fu， 我大脚朋友，Barbara 是演员，Barbara 是演员。
The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room,
Edith
I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
Edith 7 House Day Finch Edith。这是芬奇家族，没有叫伊蒂曲的人，只有我自己。Edith，这个还是说这个是 Edith 的房间？对 ，Edith 啦，就是在妈妈把所有的房间封起来之后，在上面开个猫眼的人。那我们不知道说他到底是谁。1999年出生，只知道他年纪应该很大。然后兴趣是绘画，那你呢？
My grandpa Sam spent 7 years
我
sharing
爷爷
a room with his
Sam，
dead brother, Calvin.
我的爷爷 Sam 和他的，这个应该是爸爸爷爷。爷爷和他的兄弟 Calvin， 山姆和 Calvin 都是1950出生的，所以2个应该是双胞胎。而且怎么会就是兄弟住一，不是夫妻要住一起吗？不是奶奶要住一
As a
起吗？
kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
这是浴室吧？ Gregory，G-R-E-G-O-R-Y。我们来看一下嘿。Gregory 没有意思，就格里艾利。可是这不像房间啊，这像厕所啊。这是厕所啊。这是爷爷跟他的兄弟，这是一个叫艾迪的人。嚯！这个家的历史感很重哦。Molly
always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
Molly 房间看起来也很棒。他们家公共空间很小，可是私人空间很大。Molly 也是奶奶辈的人，哦，更大，是爸爸那边的大姐爷爷那边的大姐。
A lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
祖父是 Walter， 爷爷是 Sam。不是啊，那这个 Walter 是谁？祖父的哦，弟弟啦。1952，我懂了，这边是同一个，这边都是兄弟姐妹。最大是 Molly， 是亲近的，然后很早就死了。时间不对耶，这边的人很早都死了，可是他认识他们，他是1999才出生的，可是这些人直到1947、1960，这是一个很奇怪的地方。好，鱼完全没在听我讲话，已经跑不见了，不过没关系，我自己玩。Kelvin 跟 Sam 是Sam爷爷和他的双胞胎 Kelvin 住在一起，都在2楼。芭芭拉是比较亲近的。哦，芭芭拉，上忘记 Water， 是我祖父 Water 的房间。Levi 告诉我这边有秘密通道，书吗？是书哎。
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
哦，爷爷房间有密道，这是 Molly。哦，我来看看这间房子到底有什么秘密啊？没有芭芭拉的房间，有 Kelvin 和 Sam。Edith 不知道是谁。这是芭芭拉。这是芭芭拉。
Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it.
芭芭拉，哦，对，芭芭拉是最有名的。芭芭拉是最，然后茉莉是比较亲切的。芭芭拉最有名的。1、2、3、4、5，爷爷辈有5个人。
this. Maybe it sounds like I had a plan. But I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
这是 Molly。
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
这些人应该都是祖母辈的啊，怎么会像小朋友一样？
Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
Molly Finch.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat. The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it. My Halloween candy was all gone.
This is a 小朋友的声音。
Mom, can I come out now?
妈妈把他，
It's late. Go to sleep.
妈妈把他锁起来，然后没有让他吃晚餐。小朋友的
I
房
kept
子里
eating and eating.
哦，
I ate a lot of things that night. Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat. I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared. Mom and Dad didn't even look at me. I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger. A mama rabbit. She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
I was a shark.
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever. I wanted fat, juicy seals. Flipper, and it tasted really good. It grabbed on tight, but I was so hungry. Jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed. Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere. I was big, but I moved real quiet. I wanted to stop, but also I didn't. Passenger, I was still hungry, and across the water I smelled something new, something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe. I got closer and closer. All of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to be, and we both know I will be delicious.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
哇 ，Edith， 他讲故事的方法好棒哦，好厉害哦。
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here before my mom sealed the doors.
Molly， 从 water 吞到 Molly 的房间。我不知道莫莉到底怎么了，但是刚刚那一段故事实在
I
是
can't describe it, but I felt like some part of Molly was still here.
对呀，Molly， 我不能开门了。Molly 呀，哎，不是，告诉我下一步怎么走啊？我不能开门，我不能开厕所，难不成你要我爬窗？你真的要我爬窗？好，
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
Molly，
I spent a lot of time in Great Grandma Edie's room.
祖母 Edith， 他刚刚说 Molly 经过爸妈的房间。
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
Seven， 这个是 ED 是祖母， Odin 是祖父，那是爸爸的爷爷的爸爸，祖父。那 Seven 应该是祖母的弟弟。
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity. Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother. The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace.
爷爷 Sam 的第一个妻子 Kay。
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book. Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Steven 给了 Sam。Steven 是谁呀？是 Seven 还是 Steven？Seven 哦，对 ，Seven。奶奶的弟弟给了长辈，又给了爷爷一个相机。我可以爬回去吗？
Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune.
他玩了一个双关语啊。伊蒂加奇为他的 fortune 财富有名，也为他的 unfortunate 不幸有名。这个鸟鸟的门，那应该是这个房间，应该就是 Edith 的房间。哦，我知道了，厕所是到底，然后这边是 Edith， 那这边就是那个 Sam 跟那个 Kelvin 的房间。
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
我兄弟 Milton 在我之前来过这里。 这是爷爷跟他那个 Kelvin。
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin, and that he never talked about him.
Common Center.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom, and he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again, and he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Dinner's ready.
Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that,
Calvin, I'm not gonna tell you again.
maybe if the wind hadn't picked up, then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother. The day he made up his mind to fly, and he did.
Oh dear!
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Aww.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
Edith. Common Center.
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Oh，我的天哪！我的天哪！ Kelvin, Horizon, Soldier, Kelvin.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Oh.
Edie's father Odin built the original house.
Edith 的父亲 Odin， 所以为什么既然 Edith 也是小孩的话，为什么祖父 Odin 没有把它画在树干上面？Molly， 不知道他怎么了。Walter， 我好喜欢这个游戏啊！我好喜欢，好喜欢，好喜欢，好喜欢这个游戏。Walter， 7 Houston Finch。是爷爷的第一个妻子。
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
芭芭拉。
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Happy birthday， 芭芭拉。
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent. She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
我没有办法按 W 前进。
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star. I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards. Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up, a has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just a boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orca's Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent. She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamel, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Walter vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hookman, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
That night, she played her part beautifully. Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned. He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet. The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was... At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
Oh,
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
爸爸唯一希望就是被铭记。Molly, Barbara, Kelvin. Barbara. Oh my god. 他说故事的方法好棒。My friend Big Fool.
It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key. I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Barbara.
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
Molly, Barbara, Kelvin.
I wonder if that comic was right about there being a key inside the music box near the basement.
我知道啊，我没有卡关啊，我只是想看一下。怎么会这么暗？
Maybe I should go check out that music box down by the
我知
basement.
道啦，我想看一下家里面没。餐桌，和厨房、餐厅。
Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank. If I keep winding the music box, maybe a key will pop out like it did in the comic book.
我知道嘞。
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot. I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents.
Edith 是女生。
It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that. I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave. Well, I still can.
1999、1992、1988、1952。
I know it's out there, somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly and Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month. Or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Oh.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
1937到1947，10岁的时候，Molly 挂了，被海怪吃掉。1944，他们很晚才生。7年后，Molly 6岁时，1944到1960，26岁，在家遇到杀人魔袭击。6年后是 Kevin 跟 Sam。Kevin 是溜滑梯溜出去。2年后是 Water。1917到2010。2010。所以这些房间是死人的房间，他没有跟他们见过。只有 Water。Water 住在下面，不住在自己的房间。好。
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
火车铁轨模型。
Should call myself 称呼我。
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made, trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe 2, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
Water.
I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of. Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
Water.
And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible.
我最喜欢你了。
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house? It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. Three of the gerbils are mine, and 2 had been my fault. Sven built the house, but it was Edith who designed the cemetery. I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide. Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night. Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
Finch. Finch. Gregory Finch. Gregory Sen. Newton.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us. We never found Milton's body, so my mom insisted we were putting up a monument, not a tombstone. There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself. But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
22周生孕。
我再去上个厕所好了，等我一下。
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense. Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something. Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
它应该有自动保存，因为 AB 开台了，我要去看一下。